guys. Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Have you been following the ice storm in the northern plains? I've received pictures right here. I've put together a slideshow of the pictures that have caused this massive blackout up in Michigan and Wisconsin, parts of New York, Ohio, northern Indiana, northern Illinois. Here's what's going on with the power outages. 3/4 of an inch of ice has accumulated on trees and power lines. These photos were sent in by Singes from today, the 30th of March, 2025. Look at the trees. Look at all the ice on the power lines. That's a lot of weight. That brings down the tree branches. The tree branches fall onto power lines. Power lines then come to the ground. This truly is a grid crusher. It'll be a while before the grid is back up and running 100%. I was in an ice storm many years ago, back in the 70s, and there was exactly, just like right here, 3/4 of an inch of ice that accumulated on everything, especially the large trees and power lines, and yes, they came to the ground, and we were without power for a solid 7 days in our community, and I can only imagine what's going on up in Michigan and parts of Wisconsin. Here's a look at all the trees down on this street right here, and yes, the power is currently out to hundreds of thousands of people. Also, there was an event over in South Korea. I know this goes back to February, but this is something that you don't hear of very often. Look at this right here. A bridge collapsed over in South Korea. Yes, it was under construction. This was a new bridge that was going up. But boy, that is super rare. You don't see that very often. You can see part of the bridge still remained intact over there to the far right. But the center section and the section over here to the far left came down to the ground in dramatic fashion. And yes, there were workers on the bridge at the time this happened. That was video footage from a car that was pulling away from the scene of the incident. And speaking of incidents, there's been yet another airplane land in a community, this time up in Minnesota. The airplane landed in a house right over here west of Minneapolis in Brooklyn Park. Here's video footage of what happened after the plane, for whatever reason, landed in the roof of a home in Minnesota. People were standing around watching. This occurred yesterday for unknown reasons. They still don't know why the plane came down into the roof of that house right there. They were advising people to step back as the flames were getting larger and spreading away from the house. Thick black smoke because the fire trucks hadn't arrived yet. Watch as the fire trucks arrive and start dousing the flames. You'll see the smoke turn white. Whenever the smoke turns white, that means it's receiving a large amount of water. When it's black, that means there's no water yet. So this entire home was engulfed in flames. Unfortunately, there were no survivors on the airplane, and I haven't heard if there was anybody inside the house or not. I mean, I would say there was a pretty good chance there was, but maybe not. Maybe they were away from home at work or something like that, because this did occur at around 12:30 in the afternoon, so they may have been gone. This is the third, maybe fourth time this has happened in the last 6 or 7 months, where a plane has landed in an apartment building, a house in the middle of a street in Philadelphia, fell out of the sky for unknown reasons. And that's what happened here west of Minneapolis, Minnesota, yesterday on March 29th. You can find an article about that incident right here. A small plane crashes into home near Minneapolis, sparks large fire. That's over at bnonews.com. And real quick, I wanted to share with you guys the optics of the recent X1 class solar flare and the large CME that sent a proton storm directed towards the Earth. There's a look at the CME as it came off the northeastern limb of the sun, and I have 2 more looks at the sun right here. You don't normally see a whole lot of CME activity in this wavelength, but you did from that event, and also right there, 2 different wavelengths here, and they both showed a large amount of plasma leaving the surface of the sun. That was on March 28th of 2025. Guys, I've got a new theory involving this flashing light phenomena that's sweeping the Earth, and it could possibly have something to do with dirty electricity, also known as electrical pollution. It is high-frequency voltage transients riding along the 50 or 60 hertz provided by the electric utilities. It is a form of EMF, electromagnetic frequency. radiation that is caused by spikes and surges in the electrical wiring in our homes, and more than likely wiring everywhere that services street lights, parking lot lights. Roberto out of Tampa, Florida. I'm going to share a few examples with you guys, and in case you haven't seen this flashing light phenomena that's sweeping the earth. This is one example of over 850 that I've received since November. Chuck Purnell, not sure of the location. It was a little bit foggy on this night, but again, you can see many lights for unknown reasons flashing very rapidly, and it makes you wonder, could this be a side effect of dirty electricity? Could there be something influencing the flow of electricity? This was a thought, an idea that I had back in December about something, as you watch this video here, right there, interfering with the flow of electricity. What could it be? Dirty electricity? I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's a possibility. Something's causing surges in the flow of power. The lights are telling us a story. There's an interruption being caused by something in the flow of electricity right there, causing the lights on the entire building to turn off here. This video goes back to January, and I've been receiving videos since November of 2024 on a daily basis. Some days more than others. It just depends on the day. But I've received now over 850 examples worldwide of all kinds of lights malfunctioning, whether it be 48-inch fluorescent bulbs, the long old school bulbs, the standard old school bulbs, LED light bulbs. It doesn't matter. I've even seen the very large, almost football size stadium bulbs malfunctioning. So this, whatever it is, isn't picky. Yes, there's a lot of LED lights in today's world, so naturally I get more examples of LED lights malfunctioning. But that right there was super eerie. The entire building turning off and on. Vanetta out of Mason City, Iowa, back in January. Looks like every light in the parking lot, including the building, malfunctioning. Again, if you look at it as maybe something's interfering with the natural flow of electricity, maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know exactly what's going on, but again, I do have other theories as well. But something has definitely changed, because since November of 2024, I've received, like I said, over 850 examples of this phenomena worldwide. And prior to November of 2024, I had received 0 examples of flashing, flickering lights like you see right here. Jamie and Marcy out of Kalkaska, Michigan. Can you imagine pulling up to that building? You would think they were having some sort of a special going on, a party, a celebration. No, they didn't do anything to instigate that. Those lights started flashing all on their own. They were being influenced by something, quite possibly dirty electricity. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, today's feature photo was sent in by Lisa out of Goodyear, Arizona. Big old ring around the moon the other night, visible from right out here in Arizona. Checking in on the GOES X-ray Flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. No major solar flares in the last 24 hours. We did see a small M-class solar flare about 2 hours ago, but nothing major. Looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun, starting to see a return of sunspots in active regions coming around the eastern side of the sun. Here's a look at the power outage situation. 142,000 in Michigan, 67,000 in Wisconsin, 1,500 in northern Ohio, and 7,000 in New York. And there's power outages up in Canada as well from the recent ice storm. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano, showing some earthquake activity around the supervolcano caldera on several of the seismographs. The red vertical lines represent earthquake activity. Nothing major going on today, but there is a little bit of activity going on at the supervolcano. Thanks for the photos and videos, guys. Keep them coming. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at mrmbb333.com. If you guys have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. Look for this red banner that says, have a large video. It's a Dropbox. Drag and drop your videos into the Dropbox. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.